time with family, staying active, doing what you love. We understand how important it is to live your best life, even as times are changing. At Holzer, we strive to help every patient achieve their
Hello and welcome to the newest episode of Talk of the Town podcast. I am Josh Wellington, your Executive Director of the Gallia County Chamber of Commerce. This podcast is brought to you by the Chamber of Commerce and Holzer Health System. And joining me today is the Assistant Director of the Gallia County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Katelynn Halley.
Hey Josh, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming in. You got a lot going on. And full disclosure, I sit on the... what is it? I don't even know the official name of the advisory board for the Visitors Bureau. And then we have an event coming up where we work together, and that's the Discover Appalachia Travel Expo, or DATE. And it took me a while to figure out why Amanda kept putting date in all the emails. Like, for a second I was like, why is it the date of this meeting matter? And then it hit me that that's what it stands for. So let's talk a little bit about this thing. How long has this been going on, and when is the one that we have coming up and that kind of thing?
Okay, so the expo originally was the Southeastern Ohio Travel and Business Expo years ago. And it's been in various locations. It used to be out at the University of Rio Grande. Mm-hmm. It had a few years of a break of not having it because of bad weather. And so it was like, okay, let's rebrand this. Let's, kind of change things up. And so in 2019, it became the Discover Appalachia Travel Expo. And, obviously, the last couple of years, we haven't been able to have it, and so now we are back and ready to go. This year's expo is going to be on March 19th at Gallia County Middle School from 11 to 3, and we're really excited.
You got me in trouble with this, I just have to tell you. So we scheduled this, and the whole time we're talking about when we're going to have this, I'm like, something is that day, but it's not on my calendar. But something is that day, and I got married in June, so I know that's not it. So it is my wife's birthday that day, and I was like, So honey, I'm going to take you out of town soon, on a trip away, but it can't be on your birthday.
Do we need to bring a cake in or something, make everyone
I'll take her to dinner after, so we're done at 3 o'clock, so I'll take her to dinner here locally, and but we like to go visit here and there, and I was like, I will go out of town, but there's some, and then I know there's something on your birthday that I have to do. And then that was it. I
don't know. I think this might actually be a really good birthday. You can see exotic animals with Barker Farms.
There we go.
And Magic Mirror will be there, so she can get a really nice picture.
That was the best segue. You have a future in radio. That was fantastic. That was good.
I mean, then she can plan, future birthday, what she wants to do next year.
Exactly.
So
it could be a win-win. And then it also gets me another volunteer for our table.
Exactly. But we won't tell her that.
No. She'll know when if she listens to this in her office next week. But it's exciting to have this event and to see, you guys go to the expo in Columbus, which is that this weekend? Or did they move that one?
I don't think they're actually having it this year because we're not planning on being there this year.
I just remember last year, or with the last one they had, it was the same weekend as the fishing expo.
Yes.
So we were side by side. I was visiting one, you were working the other.
Exactly.
So, and I knew that was this weekend. But, we go these different places, and it's nice for people to be able to come to this event and see what are some of the hidden gems that are here locally, whether it's Airbnbs or local businesses that the people can go visit when they travel in. So that even if it's not you specifically, if you have family coming in for a reunion or to visit just in general, there are things that you can do and places you can take them to really show off what Gallia County has to offer.
Yeah, and even southeastern Ohio, I know we'll have Athens County CVB is planning to attend. And so it's really nice to kind of see not just our county, but the surrounding area as well. So it's good for people who are from Gallia County. So don't think just because we're featuring different places in Gallia County, there won't be something that won't be a good trip for you.
Perfect. And a funny story about the chamber, or the CVBs working together. Last year, my wife and I went to Holmes County, to the Amish country. And so we made our way to Millersburg. And we went into this little restaurant. And I'm always like looking for the Chamber of Commerce and this and that. And so we're in this little like microbrewery burger place right in the middle of Millersburg. And I noticed the lady next to me has a Chamber of Commerce polo on. And I'm like, it's got to be close. So her party ends and they leave. You know, they finish eating and they leave. And our waitress comes over and I say, excuse me, you know, does that person work at the Chamber of Commerce and is it close? She said, yeah, she's the director and it's right down the street. And besides that, she's my mom. I'm like, fantastic. So we go down and we visit for a little bit and introduce ourselves and we look and they have walls of pamphlets about Amish country. And I mean, there's hundreds of these things. And at the very end, on the top row, in the corner, the only non-Amish pamphlet in the whole building is Gallia County. And I said, why? Just out of curiosity. You know, we're 4 hours from home. This is non-Amish. She said, we love Bob Hood. I said, really? And she said, yeah, we just love him, so we put those there for him. And I saw Bob. Bob was in the office last Thursday, I think, or something, and I told him that story, and he knew the woman's name right off the bat in her entire life history. What county she came from, how she got there, how long she's been there, and their CVB and chamber are together, so it's all under one roof, and we see that a little bit in different places. But when you get that kind of people working together, even through networking or otherwise, it benefits everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the expo, that's how you make those connections, and that's how we meet other CVBs when we go to the AAA show or even this event. And you make those connections, and you know who people are on their first name basis, and it really makes things easier when you're trying to get the word out about your organization, your business. It's really a good networking opportunity.
And you guys, so the spring is your kind of getting going season, and then the summertime is go time.
Yep.
You guys have kind of become known for fishing. Lots of fishing events. You've got some new stuff coming this year. Let's talk a little bit about you got some new events maybe coming this way. But are we in store for a full fishing tournament schedule down at the park front?
Pretty much. I don't know once after May hits, I don't know when I'm going to have a Saturday to do anything for myself.
Gotcha.
Between the fishing tournaments and other Gallia County events, we're on the go. The first full week of May is National Travel and Tourism Week. Okay. And so after that week, we go through December, because we'll have our summer events with fishing tournaments, and then fall happens and we have Bob Evans Farm Festival and all the really awesome events that we have in Gallia for the fall, and then Gal Police and Lights.
Perfect. And that has become just a huge attraction that gets us through those cold months and keeps the tourism flowing, and the distance traveled by some of these folks that come to see the lights is just, it blows me away. Yeah,
I love it when I hear from Ohio Tourism and they're like, oh, hey, can you send us those dates? And I'm like, sure can. Let's do it. So it's definitely one of my favorite things to talk about.
And now we have another event coming, winter related, coming up in the park area, I believe the February, is it the 19th? It's Gallia Winterfest.
Gallia Winterfest.
It's Gallia Winterfest. I believe it's the 19th.
It is the 19th. We both scrambled. It is. Yes.
And I think we've both kind of taken part in helping to promote and get the word out for that. And it's being put on by the ESC, which I believe is the Educational Service Center out at Rio Grande, Dr. Shockley,
Yes.
David Moore, and Gwen Daniels and their staff. Ice rink, ice sculptures, human snow globe. It's going to be fantastic. It's all free of charge for the kids.
What I think about that event that's great is that the ice sculptures are going to be out there until they melt.
Yeah.
So if you can't go on the 19th, you can just, as long as it doesn't get too warm,
right.
You might be able to catch them after that.
Well, I can tell you, if they want to set them in our back parking lot, they'll be here till July because it is 2 inches still of ice out there. I luckily have not hit the ground yet, but Paige, not so lucky. She managed to, she slipped a little bit when it first happened, but it's just another exciting event, coming to the area, and you guys work so well with promoting the Airbnbs and the different things that are out, not necessarily in the well-traveled, downtown area or the eastern, the Gallipolis City kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff that you guys promote that's out there that's to be offered to people is a little bit off the beaten path.
Yeah, we promote all of Gallia County. So we, like you said, we have some really great Airbnbs for people who just want to get away and truly get away.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want cell service for people to call you, I have those places
right,
for you.
Right.
And it's one of the nice things about visiting Gallia County. One of the things that people really like about it is that it is away, but yet if you want something, it's just a short drive away.
Another thing that you guys have always, your office has been instrumental in bringing was always the Chautauqua event. And that, I guess, is no longer a thing, but there maybe is some stuff in the works to
Yes.
go down that road without letting the cat out of the bag, so to speak.
Yes. It is a local committee, and because Ohio Humanities is no longer doing that program.
Okay.
And so the previous Gallipolis Chautauqua committee has picked that up, and we are running with it. So definitely, I'll come back. I'll come back, and we.
It's a great tease to let people, because that was a big event that people truly enjoyed, mm-hmm. and to know that there's enough pride in it here locally that people are willing to take that step and to really put their heart and soul into keeping that tradition alive at a local level is just superb. And
once we have our I's dotted and T's crossed, I cannot wait to say who will be coming, and it's gonna be it's gonna be great. I'm very excited. I wish I could talk about it.
I know, and that's why I wanted to leave it very very open ended and vague, because I know that we want to promote it and get everyone excited, but you do have to wait until everything is just right.
Yep. So I can tell you the dates, though.
Okay.
I don't think I'll get in trouble for that.
If Amanda didn't want you to talk about it, she should have come with you.
Yeah. That's what we'll say.
Yeah.
Okay, so June 9th, 10th, and 11th.
There you go. Keep your calendars open. We can't tell you what for, but you're going to want to be there.
You're going to love it. It's going to be great.
I'm looking forward to that. A lot of times we get calls, and I know you probably get calls too, of people wanting to know something, and they call us, but it's you they need to talk to, or vice versa.
Yep.
I often tell people the difference is your office gets them here. We promote what's here for them when they get here. Mm-hmm. We make sure that the businesses are ready for them. And that's a great relationship to have, to work closely and kind of keep each other in the loop as to, there's going to be people coming for this. Can you get with your members and see if they want to promote their businesses, sales or whatever, because there's going to be an increase in foot traffic for this, whether it's Hoop Project or whatever the case may be. And then we can also say, hey, we've got this event coming up. Is there any way you can throw that on the calendar, or, we can get the word out to area people that this business is having a grand opening, or this business is doing this, or there's some expansion here, or perfect example, the bakery right next to you guys, mm-hmm. That opened last week. We made sure they were ready, but then you were instrumental in helping to spread the word as well of, here's our new neighbors, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, and as I do the social media for the Visitors Bureau, and that was the most popular post I had put out probably this year, and it's just like, okay, I need all my other stuff to get as popular as this, but it's so worth it because it's so delicious.
I put the flyer that we posted together 2 days before they open. And I put it out, just an organic post, no boosting, just let it run. In 48 hours, it was viewed 16,000 times. And so I talked to Selena yesterday, who's one of the owners of Flower Girls Baking Company, and she said, we weren't overwhelmed with like a line out the door, but I was overwhelmed in keeping the shelves full. Like, people were coming in and buying it by the tray.
Yeah, when I went in there, I just got a cinnamon roll and a chai latte. And the two people, the person in front of me, the person behind me, got like one of everything. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing there because everyone is buying it.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
I never heard one regret of, I bought that and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And that's something that we offer not just for new business, but anything that, if people, on the chamber side are looking to promote their business or get the word out about things, that's what we offer. But then you guys in turn are the ones who are getting people from outside the area to come and realize the resources that we have here.
Yeah, and not just our attractions, but our businesses too. Mm-hmm. I love it when people come in and they say, okay, where is there somewhere good to eat? Hey, we're looking to go shopping. Where's a good spot? And you wouldn't believe some of the random requests that we get. Of course, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but it's so fun to kind of meet people and hear their different stories. I remember one time we had these folks come in from Ireland specifically to come to Gallia County because one of the group grew up here and then moved to Ireland and brought his entire family and extended family, and then they came here. And we've had people from Washington State come here looking up into their lineage, because if you think of our history for Gallia County, they came to the river, and Gallia County was such a hub for people, and then they went out, but this is where they originally came to America, was in Gallia County.
The history is very, very rich, and you have the Welsh side, you have the French side with the French 500 settlers, and we are very lucky in that we have a really solid historical society with a lot of great artifacts. We have a great genealogical society as well, that people can really dive in and learn about where they've come from, and look also at the history of here, and to see where it has gone and how far we've come. I think sometimes when you live in a small town, you look around and say, well, man, nothing's changed in forever. But it's one of those things where you don't notice that your hair has grown until it's, obvious. You don't see the subtle growth as you go along. And so have added places in the last decade like Twisted Vine out, the winery, and Mary Wines, and you look at there's maple syrup producers, and there's artisans of all kinds that are just out in the middle of the countryside that have a wooden sign out front, and your office makes sure that people know that those people are there.
Yep, absolutely. And that's one of the fun things is when people are like, okay, I know these things that are going on all the time, and then I'm talking to people and they're like, oh yeah, I didn't know that. I'm like, how did you not know that?
Yeah.
Like, everyone should know this. So we work our best to have things on our website at visitgallia.com. We have our calendar, all Gallia County attractions, restaurants, accommodations, all that's on there. And it's continuously changing, and we're adding things, and it's keeps me on my toes.
I think that Gallia County is full of what we call hidden gems. We just honored one at our annual awards just a couple of weeks ago, the John G. Black Historic Center. I don't think people in this area can have appreciated the work and the artifacts that are in that facility, and the knowledge that is just waiting to be absorbed.
It's truly astounding what they have in there.
It is.
And even like they work a lot with the Emancipation Committee, and it's the longest continuously running
Yes.
celebration of the Emancipation in the United States.
Yep.
That is huge. Even with COVID, they still did it.
Yep.
And it blows my mind about this event, and it's truly great. Like, if you've not been to it, there's so much there that they have. They bring some of their artifacts. They have all this information, and it's a fun time. I mean, they have stuff for kids too. I mean, it's really great.
They are very dedicated to teaching the history of this area and national history for that matter. And I remember I stopped in one day. I had to drop their membership plaque off. And I told Missy, who was my assistant at the time, I said, I'm leaving early today. It's sunny. I had some things I needed to get done. I said, I'm going to take out a couple hours early, but on my way home, I'm going to drop this plaque off at John G. So I know they're open today. And I walked in, and that was the first time I got to meet Elaine Armstrong. And 2 hours and 15 minutes later, I text Missy and said, well, I'm leaving John G. And she said, what? And I said, I couldn't get away. It mesmerized me. And you look at places like that, I think people take our library for granted. Mm-hmm. We have an astounding library, and the leadership that Debbie Saunders has there and her staff, they are phenomenal.
I love working with the library. I cannot say that enough. And I know if there is something that I have a question about for like history related things, Lynn Polly has my back every time.
Yes.
And with their events that they bring in, like the exhibits, those things are astounding. And I will bring friends in from Columbus, Cincinnati, and they're like, wait, you have this? Yeah, well, how much is it? It's free.
It's free.
It's free. You can't get that anywhere. You cannot do something like that anywhere else but Gallia County.
These are museum quality exhibits that are free to anybody. And I think that it's an asset that we just don't utilize enough as a community. And then, you just keep looking around at the artisans and the things that people, even if you make your way out to campus, the Greer Museum is something I don't think gets enough recognition. You have the Our House, the French Art Colony, all of these things that we grew up knowing about. But have you taken that deep dive into what do they have to offer? We'll drive to D.C. and spend 3 or 4 days at the Smithsonian or at these different museums, but never. A lot of times I think we lose sight of the history of Lafayette and the Underground Railroad and all of the things that have happened here. That is just another thing that there is for people to do when they come here, and another great asset for the Visitors Bureau to promote and really get the word out about. This is something that you can travel to, and these are destinations. Yeah,
Gallia County, they make my job fun.
Right.
There is so many different things that we have. I mean, we have Lafayette's jacket, and if you're a big fan of Hamilton, like I am, we have his jacket. Right. It's here, and you can go and see it at the Our House. Now, I joke with the director there all the time that I'm going to go upstairs and try it on when I'm getting promotional pictures. And I get the most stern look like,
I bet.
No, you're not. But I love them out there. They're great.
I got that look when I went to D.C. several years ago, and we were at the National Archive. And there's a guy standing next to, I think it was the Declaration of Independence. And I said to him, trying to make conversation, at night, do these still go back down into the vault? It was always said that they suck kind of back down into a vault and are locked to save them at night. And he said, pre 9/11 they were. And I said, so now what? And he was like, move along, sir. And I'm like, yes, okay, I'm moving right along, sir. I'm not trying to end my night here or further nights like this. I'm moving on. But yeah, just the history here and the. Back to John G., they bring in speakers, and Elaine's son Philip came in and spoke about the great museum that he's running out in Oklahoma. And I learned more in his 2-hour presentation than I learned my entire school career about just African American history.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the Our House or John G., a great opportunity would be to come to the Discover Appalachia Travel Expo because they both will be there.
Awesome.
So
and
you
that
can
is
hear
again
about
March 19th at Gallia County Middle School on 4th from, do you say noon to 3 or 11 to 3?
It is 11 to 3.
11 to 3. And we will be there with the Chamber of Commerce as well, promoting some of our local businesses. If you had one thing that you always look forward to every year to wrap things up, one, whether it's the passport promotion, I know one thing you're not going to say is the digital puzzles. I know that's not your favorite. They're popular, but they're...
I just ran out of pictures. That's the thing. I don't have a problem doing them. Hey, if you like them, send me a picture. I will make a puzzle. I will put it on
There you
there.
go. What's one thing you're looking forward to this year?
This year, I'm really looking forward to Cowboys and Lights again. Because I know it's still winter and everything, but they make it so much bigger and better every year.
They do.
And it's like, they can't top this. Yes, they can.
And they put the pressure on unintentionally. Like, we had to go buy Christmas lights this year and have them put up before the lighting because we didn't want to be left out because we're right across the street.
Yep.
That's pressure.
Oh yeah, we're around the corner, and we had to do the same thing. We're like, okay, we got to get ribbons. We got to get these little mini trees. Yeah.
And then by the time it's time to take them down, you're so busy with first of the year stuff that I literally paid somebody to come take ours down. Out of pocket.
To take ours down because I almost fell off the ladder this year.
I was like, here's $20. It's going to take you 20 minutes. Like, have at it.
Yeah, we have those. If you're not familiar with the Visitors Bureau, we have these 4 columns.
Giant pillar columns,
yeah.
like Georgian architecture.
Yeah, so the building used to be a bank, so
right.
I guess that's where they got that. And so I climb up these ladders, and the ladder's not tall enough. So
right.
I'm like as high as I can go, and of course I decide to forget that we're doing it that day, and I'm wearing these boots that have no traction. They have a little heel on them. I'm here sitting today as a survivor. So it was a close one, but it was all right.
Katelynn, thanks for coming by. Don't forget you can listen to every episode of the Talk of the Town podcast every Sunday morning during the 8 o'clock hour on 93.1 WJEH FM or anytime on our YouTube channel. You can find the link on our social media page to each and every episode. Until next week, we'll see you next time.